Think of Apollo as the Apple of the electric scooter world. Sure, it could sustain itself on cool factor alone, yet it never takes the easy route. Instead, it opts to pursue perfection with relentless determination by constantly updating its already successful scooters. Exhibit A, the Air 2023. Like the mercurial new iPhone 15 Pro, the Air 2023 channels all that came before it while introducing a handful of upgrades to wow us all over again. The sleek design, premium build quality and all-weather credentials that elevate this line of scooters above the competition remain in place. But 2023's edition also comes with a new cockpit, handlebar integrated turn signals, self-healing tyres and a more secure folding mechanism, to name just a few of the inspired tweaks. But more importantly, how did the apolloair hold up in my tests? Keep watching to see how it stacks up in the design, features and performance departments. In my review of the apolloair 2022, I said that it was a triumph from its curved lines and flush finishes and a design that flowed from one section to the next. Everything about it oozed class. Well, this statement holds true, yet with the new upgrades in tow, 2023's edition manages to outstrip it. You see, one thing you can be sure of when purchasing an Apollo scooter is premium build quality. The Air 2023 doesn't disappoint. Every component fits together like pieces of a Swiss clock, while the materials are all high quality, as is evident from Apollo's industry-leading 10,000 kilometer warranty on the frame. Better yet, despite its sleek aesthetic and plentiful features, Apollo has managed to make the Air extremely low maintenance. Take for instance its self-healing tyres, front drum brake and high IP66 water resistant rating. Durability is assured at every corner. Even the battery benefits from a smart management system that protects it against short circuiting, overcurrent, overcharging, undervoltage and temperature resistance. But without getting too carried away with the Air's craftsmanship, let's dissect its design and features so that we can thoroughly assess it. So first up, let's take a look at its cockpit. Now, I must confess that I thought that there was very little wrong with the cockpit that was sported by 2022's edition, but 1 minute of testing the new system was all I needed to see the light. The upgrades centre around the same 8th generation paddles for the accelerator and regen brake found on both the Apollo City and Apollo Pro. Sleek in design, spectacularly smooth to operate and supremely ergonomic, the new paddles are inspired additions that make a mockery of the majority of entry-level scooters. The integrated buttons for your lights, riding modes and turn signals are all within easy reach, while the ribbed hand grips are tactile. At the centre of it all is a flush display that's been seamlessly built into the cockpit. It ensures that all of your key stats are easy to read, with one glaring exception: your riding mode. The red sport mode icon is a challenge to see, especially under direct light. As for the handlebars themselves, by my measurements, they strike a wide 26 inches, maximizing your handling. The spacious deck and rock solid stem aid your control too, while the 10-degree rake angle guarantees stability. Measuring 18.9 inches in length, 7.9 inches at its widest point, and 6.7 inches at its narrowest, the tapered deck offers ample room to find a comfortable riding stance. Add the grippy rubber coating into the mix and your feet are kept secure, while the elongated rear fender hugs the tyre to prevent splashback. However, With just 3.8 inches of ground clearance, it's best to dismount the scooter and carry it over curbs to avoid damage. Elsewhere, it will come as no surprise to learn that the sleek, anti-corrosive, aircraft-grade aluminium frame is both durable and lightweight. The headline here, however, is the all-new IP66 water-resistant rating, which is among the best that you'll find in the entire electric scooter industry. With this, you can hit the road come rain or shine. The cable management, meanwhile, is immaculate, elevating the Air's appeal as not only a robust all-weather scooter, but also one that promises precise design even across the finer details. This attention to detail extends to the newly added folding mechanism. Inherited from the Apollo City and Apollo Pro, it securely locks the stem in place, while it's also exceptionally easy to release for folding. Then there's the new folding hook. This now features a spring clip to prevent it from coming unlatched from the anchor point on the deck. Combined with the Air's 41-pound frame, it remains light enough to carry up a flight or two of stairs. However, it must be noted that because the stem folds from the neck and angles down towards the deck, you need to master the art of finding the right place to lift it from so that it balances. Upgrades are also afoot in the tyre department. Not only do these 10-inch tubeless beauties offer oodles of cushioning and traction, but because of their profile, they also ensure that you feel balanced and in control through the corners. Here's the clincher though, they're now self-healing. Thanks to a gel-like sealant that runs around the entire lining of each tyre, you can keep riding even if a foreign body penetrates them. No matter the object, whether that's a nail, a thorn or piece of glass, the gel gets to work by filling the cavity to prevent air from escaping. And yet another upgrade can be found in the form of the newly adjustable headlight. Its 20 lux rating illuminates the path ahead with a T-shaped beam, though it's not quite bright enough to achieve my seal of approval. If you plan to ride at night, you'll need to strap an additional headlight to the handlebars. Then, of course, there are the handlebar integrated turn signals, which are a standout feature. Their self-cancelling function ups the ante in the ease of use stakes too. And to cap everything off, you have a tail light that doubles up as a brake light. The ApolloAir 2023 lays claim to the best lighting rig among the many entry-level electric scooters that I've tested. And finally, there's the integrated mobile app. Through it, you can record rides, get range estimates based on your most recent riding pattern, use it as a navigational device, adjust the top speed of each riding mode, view the health and status of your battery, toggle between kick to start and zero start modes, turn cruise control on or off, turn the headlight on or off, and remotely lock or unlock the scooter. Then, if you go into the advanced settings, you can dial in the strength of your acceleration and regen brakes, set the time that it takes before cruise control automatically kicks in, and set the time that it takes before the scooter automatically shuts down when not in use. I'm also pleased to report that the Air comes with a phone holder, meaning you can use the app as your main display. Getting the holder to mount onto the handlebars can be a little tricky though, especially considering that it uses a circular clamp and the handlebars have a non-uniform shape. I found that it could only be attached right next to the throttle or regen paddle. So that sums up the design and features. Next, let's take a look at the results from my performance tests. Now, before we dive into the results, it's important to note that the Air's 220-pound load-bearing capacity isn't good news for heavy riders. During my test, I found that my 197-pound weight slowed the scooter and left it feeling a little underpowered. As a rule of thumb, I'd only suggest opting for the Air if you weigh less than 180 pounds. Here, you'll get the best performance from it, which you'll see throughout my reports. So, to kick things off, let's take a look at its top speed. Now, Apollo claims that the Air can hit a top speed of 21 21 miles per hour. Based on my tests and the data gathered from my high precision GPS logger, I managed to get 20.5 miles per hour. However, when placed against 8 other scooters in its price class, the Air ends up nestled in the lower half of the rankings. It's worth noting here that while it resides in a price category that's typically associated with entry-level scooters that have single motors, there are some more powerful dual motor models. If speed is a priority, then the SPLACH Mukuta is a great option. With dual 48 volt 600 watt motors and a peak power output of 2,208 watts, it produces 2.5 times more power than the apolloair. For comparison, the Air has a 36 volt 500 watt motor, which musters a comparatively weak peak power output of 900 watts. Similarly, the SPLACH Twin shares the same 48 volt 600 watt motors as the Mukuta, but is not as well refined overall. Elsewhere, the SPLACH Turbo Plus and Mosquito both beat the Air with their more powerful motors. Breaking things down further, the SPLACH Turbo's dual swing arm suspension makes it a great option if you want superior shock absorption, while the Mosquito would be my top pick if portability was at the top of your list. With the rankings considered, it's fair to say that top speed isn't the Air's strong suit when compared to similarly priced models, yet it still sports enough power to navigate a busy urban environments safely. A similar level of performance can be seen from its acceleration. Based on real-world testing with a 165-pound rider, the Air took 5.7 seconds to hit 15 miles per hour, leaving it second to last among its rivals. As to be expected, the dual motor models ruled the roost. The similarly priced SPLACH Mukuta for one was 53% faster off the line. Now, if we look at the single motor competition, including the Mosquito, SPLACH Turbo Plus and NIU KQi3 Max, 3 scooters that I recommend as alternatives, there's not much in it. The Air does, however, fall behind when accelerating beyond 15 miles per hour. It's also worth pointing out that with a heavier rider on board, the Air's acceleration rate slows. My 197-pound weight, for example, extended its 0 to 15 miles per hour rate to 9.2 seconds. This is because its 36 volt motor generates less torque than the 48 volt motors that so many of its competitors have. As to be expected, this also impacted its hill climbing performance. While it completed my 10% grade hill test, it did so very slowly, and as a result, I don't recommend it for anything beyond gentle inclines. Then there's its range. The 36 volt 15 amp hour 21700 cell battery delivers a maximum range of 34 miles or 23 miles when factoring in real world conditions with a 165 pound rider. My test, however, bearing in mind I weigh 197 pounds, produced a range of 15.52 miles. The test included periods of fast acceleration, cruising and multiple stops. I maintained an average moving speed of 13.2 miles per hour and climbed a total of 650 feet. It was also a cold day with an average temperature of 45.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 7.3 degrees Celsius, which could have sapped the battery of its efficiency, especially considering that the ideal operating temperature of an electric scooter battery is 70.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 21.5 degrees Celsius. Nevertheless, when we compare its maximum range to its similarly priced rivals, it places mid-table. Here, the GoTrax G Max Ultra takes the lead, though this comes as no surprise considering that it's equipped with a battery that's 17% bigger and of a higher quality, being LG. However, a long range isn't enough to qualify a scooter as a top pick. Ride quality is key to the equation. While I could sit here and tell you about how the Air's geometry, handling and spacious dimensions combine with its shock-absorbing front fork suspension and tyres to deliver a well-rounded, comfortable and controlled riding experience, what might paint the picture of the Air's ride quality in a far more articulate manner is the fact that I rode it for 30 miles across 2 consecutive days and could have kept going for longer. To put it simply, it was a pleasure to ride. As impressive is the cleverly designed regenerative braking system that prevents both wear and tear on the drum, whilst also recycling kinetic energy to slow the scooter and charge the battery simultaneously. Based on my hands-on test, the regen brake alone will bring you to a stop from 15 miles per hour in 8.1 meters. Using the front drum and the regen brakes together, however, shortens the stopping distance to just 3.4 meters. And based on the data that I've gathered from hundreds of braking tests, this level of performance resides in the good category. So now we've taken a look at its real-world performance, design and features, it's now time for me to give my final verdict. When I review electric scooters, there are a couple of ways that I like to assess value for money. First is performance per dollar, and the second is based on features, design and build quality. While the apolloair doesn't top the performance charts when pitted against similarly priced models, its inspired blueprint does borrow heavily from the rest of the spectacular and far more expensive Apollo line. Ultimately, the Air provides a more affordable gateway into Apollo's coveted range of scooters, giving you access to a set of premium features that no other entry-level scooter can lay claim to. It's been designed for commuters and novice riders who want to invest in a premium first scooter or upgrade from a more basic set of wheels. If it's a feature-rich, comfortable and nimble ride that you're after, then look no further. Pros include it has excellent handling, front fork suspension that promises a comfortable ride, self-healing 10-inch tyres, a regenerative braking system that can recharge the battery by up to 10%, a quick, easy and secure folding mechanism, a finely tuned build, handlebar turn signals that are visible from all angles, a mobile app that allows for customised performance, an excellent 10,000 kilometre warranty, is exceptionally low maintenance, has a spacious grippy deck, anti-corrosive graphite paint, fenders that hug both tyres to prevent splashback, a 40.2 inch deck to handlebar height, making it perfect for tall riders up to 6'3", and a high IP66 water resistance rating. Cons include the display gets washed out in direct light, an additional headlight is needed for night rides, and it's underpowered for heavier riders beyond 180 pounds. Now, if you're on the fence, you may want to consider the following alternatives. First, we have the NIU KQi3 Max. This is another entry-level scooter that exudes premium flair. It has a 3 miles per hour faster top speed, a 25% quicker acceleration rate, and a 6.4 mile longer range, alongside a 38% shorter stopping distance and a brighter and easier to read display. However, it's 5.3 pounds heavier, doesn't have suspension, its mobile app is more basic, it lacks turn signals, and it has a lower IP54 water resistance rating. Second on the list is the fluid Mosquito. It has a 4 miles per hour faster top speed, a 12% quicker acceleration rate, and is far more portable thanks to it being 12 pounds lighter and featuring both a telescopic stem and foldable handlebars. It also supports heavier riders up to 265 pounds. With the Mosquito, however, you have to make sacrifices with a 12 mile shorter maximum range and a 41% longer stopping distance. It also has extremely narrow handlebars, doesn't have turn signals or a mobile app, and a less protective IPX4 water resistance rating. Alternatively, you could consider the SPLACH Turbo Plus. Like the other models, it also has a faster top speed, reaching 26 miles per hour, and benefits from an 18% quicker acceleration rate. Its dual drum brakes afforded a 29% shorter stopping distance. Its 265 pounds load bearing capacity means it can support heavier riders, and it's more portable thanks to its telescopic stem and foldable handlebars. Possibly the greatest advantage that it has over the Air is its dual springs and swing arms that ensure superior shock absorption. It is, however, less refined. Its build quality is inferior. It doesn't have a mobile app or regenerative braking, braking, and as what appears to be a common theme across these alternatives, it also has a lower IP54 water resistance rating. The fourth and final alternative is a great choice if you value raw performance per dollar. Here you may want to consider the SPLACH Mukuta. Not only do its dual motors produce 2.5 times more power than the Air, but it also sports a 7 miles per hour faster top speed with an acceleration rate that's 53% quicker. Plus, its dual disc brakes afford it a 38% shorter stopping distance, while it also features a detachable battery that doubles up as a power bank, a superior lighting rig with a brighter headlight and a strong cast of supporting deck and stem LEDs, and a set of adjustable front and rear springs. However, it costs more, is £25 heavier, doesn't feature a mobile app or regenerative braking, and again has a lower IP54 water resistance rating. Its design and build also aren't as refined. Now, to find out more about the alternatives, or more importantly, the apolloair, click on the links in the description where you'll also find exclusive discount codes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.